Good morning. This is X-Pulse AI Morning Mix. Today is Sunday, July 19th, 2026. We're covering a potential $10 billion Meta and Anthropic compute deal, a new push for open-weight models out of China, and a couple of big enterprise and policy moves. Orion's here with me, ready to jump in?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
The New York Times reported on July 17th that Meta is in talks to lease major AI computing power to Anthropic, potentially around $10 billion. Orion, what's being discussed?
The idea is Anthropic would run Claude on Meta's data center infrastructure. Meta gets a new revenue line, and Anthropic gets relief from tight chip and capacity constraints. It also positions Meta as a real compute supplier, nudging into territory dominated by Amazon Web Services, Microsoft, and Google.
Does this change how we should think about who the clouds are in AI?
Yeah, because frontier labs don't just need money, they need guaranteed megawatts in GPUs. If Meta can sell reliable capacity, it becomes a power broker, even when its own models aren't the default choice. Compute becomes the product, not just the means.
And for Anthropic, does more capacity translate to faster releases or just bigger training bills?
Both, but the strategic win is predictability. Training and serving scale-ups are smoother when you're not fighting for slots. $10 billion is a lot of please don't make me queue for GPUs money.
Axios wrote on July 18th that the global AI race is splitting, China pushing open-weight models while U.S. companies stay more proprietary. The piece spotlights Moonshot releasing Kimi K3. What's the significance?
Open-weight models spread capability fast because anyone can fine-tune and deploy. If Kimi K3 is truly among the largest open models, it lowers the barrier for startups, universities, and even big companies to build strong systems without buying access to a closed frontier model.
So does this narrow the lead that companies like OpenAI and Anthropic have?
It can, especially on many practical tasks where good enough plus customization wins. Closed models still have an edge in peak performance and tooling, but open-weight ecosystems compound quickly. The competitive moat shifts from model access to distribution, product fit, and data.
Any policy ripple effects from that split?
Definitely. If powerful weights are broadly available, regulation based on scarcity gets shaky. Policymakers end up focusing more on deployment controls, audits, and liability, because the model itself is no longer the bottleneck.
The Next Web reported on July 17th that SAP closed an acquisition of Prior Labs for more than €1 billion, aiming to strengthen tabular or structured data AI. Orion, what's SAP buying here?
Prior Labs is known for TabPFN, models focused on structured table-like business data, where a lot of real enterprise value sits. SAP says Prior will keep its brand and leadership while integrating into SAP's data ecosystem. It's an enterprise model bet, not a chatbot bet.
For listeners, tabular AI sounds unglamorous. Why pay more than €1 billion?
Because most business decisions live in rows and columns: finance, supply chain, customer records. If SAP can deliver strong predictions and automation directly inside those workflows, it's sticky. Also, structured data doesn't trend on social media, but it pays the bills.
What changes if this capability is native in SAP instead of bolted on?
It reduces friction. Governance, permissions, and data access are already there. When AI is embedded where the data already lives, adoption can jump without employees copying sensitive spreadsheets into random tools.
Nat Law Review reports that on July 17th, Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker signed the Artificial Intelligence Safety Measures Act, targeting advanced or frontier models. Orion, what does the law require in plain terms?
It places obligations on developers of the most capable models: governance, transparency, auditing, and incident reporting. It also signals expectations around oversight and liability. The key detail is the focus. Not every AI system, but the ones deemed frontier.
Is this mainly symbolic, or does it change how teams operate?
It can be operationally real. Once you have required audits and incident reporting, you need processes, logs, and internal accountability. Even if you're not headquartered in Illinois, state-level laws create a patchwork that pushes companies toward a highest standard wins compliance approach.
Does the frontier framing matter versus broad AI regulation?
Yes, because it aims at where risk concentrates. The trade-off is definitional. What counts as frontier changes fast. If the thresholds aren't kept current, you either over-regulate mid-tier systems or miss the cutting edge entirely.
MarketScale summarized on July 17th that enterprise AI deployments are rising, but workforce readiness and trust are falling, citing research that links stronger governance maturity with higher trust. Orion, what's the gap they're pointing to?
Companies are shipping AI into workflows faster than they're training people, clarifying accountability, or setting rules. That creates anxiety and uneven usage. Some employees over-rely, others refuse. The research suggests governance maturity, clear policies, monitoring, escalation paths, correlates with higher workforce trust.
Where do organizations usually stumble first, skills or the guardrails?
Guardrails, because they feel slower. But without them, you get inconsistent outcomes, shadow AI, and compliance risk. Training matters too, yet people trust systems more when they know what's allowed, what's monitored, and what happens when something goes wrong.
What's one practical move that closes the gap?
Treat AI like a product, define owners, measure performance, and publish simple usage rules. If the only policy is a 10-page document nobody reads, trust won't improve, just confusion.
Let's hit a few more. On the consumer side, PC World reported July 17th that Apple's AI-enhanced Siri is slated for wide release with iOS 27 and macOS 27 this fall, acting more quietly in the background. Does that change expectations for assistants?
It nudges assistants toward ambient help, less talking, more doing. If Apple can make it feel private and reliable, it could normalize delegated actions on device. The bar becomes, don't be flashy, just be correct. Honestly, a rare tech goal.
Meanwhile, 24/7 Wallstay said July 17th saw a sharp rotation out of semiconductors, names like AMD, Intel, and Nvidia sliding as investors questioned AI infrastructure spending. Is this a fundamental story or a mood swing?
Probably both. Markets can reprice expectations quickly, but the underlying question is real. How durable is hyperscaler capex, and what utilization do we get from all that hardware? When valuations assume endless demand, even a small doubt can hit hard.
In Europe, PPC Land reports on July 18th that a French competition watchdog says OpenAI, Google, and Anthropic hold about 84% of the AI agent market, warning about lock-in. What's the pressure point?
Portability. If merchants and users can't move agent workflows, tools, memory, integrations, competition weakens. Regulators may push interoperability requirements, like standardized ways to export settings and connect services, so switching costs don't become the moat.
And on the corporate side, Winbuzzer reported July 18th that Microsoft is consolidating security engineering teams with several hundred layoffs while shifting toward AI defenses and Security Copilot. What does that signal?
Security budgets are being re-aimed at AI-augmented defense, detection, triage, and response at scale. The human cost is real, but strategically it shows Microsoft thinks the next security battleground is speed, turning signals into actions faster than attackers can iterate.
That's XPulse AI Morning Mix from XPulse for Sunday, July 19th, 2026. If this helped you stay sharp, share it with a colleague, and we'll be back next time.